allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. First item up on our agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from January 14th. Does everyone have a chance to read those? Any additions or corrections?
I've read them. I saw no additions or corrections. I would move that we accept those minutes as presented.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
I can second that.
Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, pretty short agenda this evening.
Yes.
Commissioner Lovell, do you have anything to share with us this evening?
Oh, just a couple things going on in the courthouse. As you might remember, they had panic buttons in all the locations. Well, when they did that, that went to the control over to jail, which is no longer there. So for temporary, they moved the radio to the security guard. But I'm gonna try and get on radio frequency. So be the same thing, but the panic button will come up here and it will be dispatched to city and county. Because when something happens down there, they don't have time to be doing it, so working on that. And then we had a little incident up at the clerk's office, I don't know if you heard about it, but a gentleman got kind of deranged, but anyway, so we're gonna put a glass partition, kind of similar to what we had at the security. Won't be as heavy, it's not needed. And it'll have like 4 stations and the slots to operate and work for people. Plus that counter's gonna be solid all the way across. Because as you know, it's got a hinge door where you can go under, so
Right.
they won't be able to get in that way, I'll put it that way, if another incident happens. So it's just time to move on it now instead of be proactive instead of reactive, so.
Agreed.
Other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Any updates on the campground?
No, not that I'm aware of. Dave may have something on it.
I got a quick question for you, Bobby. As much as you can tell us, could you elaborate on how things are going with Jefferson County, Scott County collaboration with the highway sharing?
I haven't heard anything since they made the 2 lawyers made the update on the wording and possession and all that.
Okay.
And I haven't heard anything since that.
Okay.
As soon as I do, I'll bring them all up to speed.
Jason did stop by my office discussing, options. He is gonna have to purchase a piece of equipment. And, he was concerned about funding, but I think he was afraid that he was gonna have to finance it in some way. If there's financing, it would be minimal because I believe he's gonna be able to hold off on some other equipment purchases and maybe pull from a couple different resources. And over 2 years, we should be able to make it, because it's gonna be at least a year delivery on a new piece of equipment anyway, so I think I calmed him down about it. He was a little worried.
Calm his nerves.
Calmed his nerves.
We do have one, I'll go ahead and do this resolution in the hopes that the church will join us here shortly. With that, and my apologies at the beginning of the meeting, I'm going to have a moment of silence. For those that don't know, we lost our former sheriff today, or I guess yesterday. Was it this morning or last?
Yesterday.
So when I keep David's family in our prayers, thoughts and prayers, as I go through this difficult time. So if we'll just have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Very sad to get that email this morning. First thing is the animal shelter. They have some funding to receive. These are donations that we're receiving into the account.
This will be going into medical, for spay and neuter, and general supply as well.
Okay. The total amount is $25,433. $10,451 of that is 4103.11270.00000. 12,982 going to 4103.21120, and 2,000 going to 4103.32133. So I have a motion to approve those funds being moved.
I'll make that motion to approve those funds for the animal shelter.
Dwayne, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ray, motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We'll go ahead and do the resolution for that, which is Resolution 2025-005 in the amount of $25,433 for the animal shelter donations, account 4103. A motion to approve the Resolution 2025-005.
I can make that motion.
And second.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
That doesn't sound good. That's a lot of sirens.
I believe that's the escort bringing,
I did not know that. Okay.
that is actually ambulance, sorry.
Oh, is it?
Is it ambulance?
The last item, I know Sheriff or Chief Deputy plan on being here this evening, but they are helping with the transport, so very thankful for them doing that. I did have a chance to talk with the sheriff about this. This is moving from the Axon contract over to a new line RFID inmate scanner. What this will do, this puts an incredible amount of accountability within the church, within the jail, to where the jailer, as they go through their rounds, will scan off on each individual inmate that they've seen them, what time they saw them, the GPS location, where they were at the time. So this gives us an incredible amount of tracking ability, and this will be very, very good for the jail. The amount of this to get started for the equipment and the first year's fees was $17,500. Fortunately, they were able to take that out of the taser funds, right? Is that, or was that cameras?
Yes,
Sorry,
Cameras.
it's the camera.
they actually paid a contract off early. They were able to pay one off early, and then that freed up this money in that contract line to make this transfer.
So thankfully, no additional expense beyond what was already budgeted.
And it is being paid from Coombe Jail as well, so it's not in general.
So, are there any questions in regards to the inmate scanner? This is basically is a bracelet, it has a RFID on it. And then the jailer will have, kind of looks like a cell phone. As they go around, they'll tap each one of those and it'll record, again, like the time that they were in contact with them, the location of where they were within the jail. And that just keeps all of our records very precise as to when the contact was made.
Right, I believe, there'll even be one in every doorway, so that when an inmate passes through, they know the position of them in the building.
Correct, and the system also has the ability for notes. So if they're with an inmate and they're having any kind of physical symptoms or whatnot, they can note all that in there, or any type of behavioral issues or whatnot, all that can be documented so that as the next shift comes in or whatnot, that's all captured. So it's a very impressive system.
I know Sheriff Flint had a packet of information that he's going to provide to everybody, so.
I know he's probably not gonna be able to join us this evening, so with that, would anyone be willing to make a motion to approve the transfer of $17,500 from 1142.36310, which was the Axon contract, to the new line RFID inmate scanner?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion for the 17,500 be transferred.
And having a motion and a second, all those in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
Sheriff Flint is here.
He is here. Okay. Give him a few minutes to come in.
Right here, Tina.
May not have any public comment.
They could have brought the dog in.
I
I love the dog.
Hi.
You could have brought your dog in.
The board is here, I hear Tina.
You guys are actually up. We, just to let you know where we're at, I gave them the discussion you and I had on the scanner. I kind of gave them the overview of the standards to it. You guys are welcome to elaborate on that. And we made a motion and passed it to transfer the funds. If you'd like to give us a little bit more detail on the scanner, it'd be fantastic.
That we can do. Sorry, I apologize, it's been a day.
Understood.
There you go, sir.
Thanks, sir.
I may have missed it. No. There you go. I handed out all my copies, but basically the RFI system is a tool that we have recently came across that we think will, one, increase the effectiveness of how we move inmates around in the facility, as well as act as another form of checks and balances inside the jail. When they have to do, our staff has to do jail checks every 30 minutes, in some cases 15 minutes in an hour. This system allows, we can put like a little card to be mounted to the wall or in a cell or on their wristbands. So each inmate will get a wristband that'll have a specific RFID code. So when they go to court, when they go to medical, when they go to church, when they go to any activity, we can scan them in, scan them out, scan them into rec, scan them out of rec. And that cuts down on liability related issues. So if they come back later and they file a grievance and they said, well, I haven't been to rec in 6 days or whatever, we can say, no, actually, right here it is. On 15-minute checks on suicidal individuals or people that may be combative in their, say, in a padded cell, you can scan that you did the round, and then it'll prompt you, it'll force you into a section that'll say, what was the inmate doing? Were they laying down? Were they laying on their side? Were they
using the restroom? Were they being combative? Were they throwing things? And depending on what prompts you pick on there, say they're combative, then you check combative, and then it forces you into another prompt where it makes you take a picture or a video of that person's actions at that moment. And it all records that on their cloud, so if you ever come back to court or something comes back, and on the back side of this, we can track that, we can pull it up, we can say, here it is in black and white. It's a really neat, really nice system. The scanners for the officers are about this size, about the size of your cell phone. It basically is what it is. It's a Google phone that has a scanner on it. And each officer has their own RFID as well. So when they come in, they take one of these and they scan into it, and it logs in as them. So if they round and they walk around and they scan, it shows that that officer scanned him, or that officer did that round. So then, say they're coming up on their hour and they haven't done a check in this pod or that pod, it'll actually set an alarm off like 5 minutes out, and it'll remind you, hey, you need to go do this, you're almost up on your hour. So it's a pretty neat investment that I think will help a lot. Being, you know, if we're low man, short staff for whatever reason, it's a great tool for them to be able to utilize to help them keep on task and to help them keep, you know, their eye on what they need to be doing.
Well, efficiencies.
Really impressive.
Yes. So, and that's the package. If, I think you guys already said that you were going to, the fund, you already went over that, correct? Transferring the money part of it, okay.
That's correct.
I guess the next thing will be, I'll get the contract over to the commissioners for their approval as well, but that is a copy of it right there, so.
And I may not, it may be on here, I'm on the pricing page right now, obviously, we knew that total amount that was gonna be transferred from Kim Jail from the additional, that was unused for the Axon contract, which was great. This covers software, actual hard equipment, and maybe this first year, what will be like a yearly renewal fee, or what would be anticipated, easy enough that you could add into the budget next year as far as, obviously additional bands, I'm sure, as new
Yes,
inmates
so
come in.
the bands are extra, but when we figured the price, it's actually a little bit, we figured to transfer more money than what is actually required for the contract. And we factored that in so we could plan ahead in case we needed wristbands or in case we needed more RFID chips than what's provided. Then we have a little bit of a buffer zone there to where we can obtain those and still be within budget.
The yearly contract is on the very last page.
Their last.
So the up cost is the first one, and then the second one is the yearly contract. They do require a 3-year commitment on the product, so that cost, that's why the cost is in there.
So about $10,000 a year moving forward. Okay. My only other question, just again, if an inmate were to know the game, is this such that if a band was somehow cut off, not that they're using sisters every day, but destroyed, damaged, is that something that the cost can come out of their commissary, or
Yeah, if it was, I would not see an issue with that as long as, you know, we could obviously say that they maliciously ripped it off and destroyed it. Or same goes with the little chips that we put on the mount on the walls. If they were to destroy those as well, that would also be another cost that we could take care of as well.
Now, can those chips be transferred once that person's released to a new prisoner, or is it only?
It's a one-time, when they do it, you put your picture in there and it goes through a heat sealer and it's all like a laminated and it becomes one.
Okay.
So it's waterproof, so hopefully that also, when they shower.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
When obviously training for your staff, equipment has to come in, I mean, you think within a month or two, are we ready to implement?
He said, once we get the contract signed, they are a little bit out, right now, probably a couple of months out, just backlog, because there seems to be a pretty big influx of people that are jumping on board with this program. but we could potentially have it, knock on wood, by mid-year, up and running. And 3 days of training comes also included in that contract as well for our staff. So that was a pretty substantial amount of training. Most people don't give you 3 days, they may give you a day or, 2, so. And then also, last but not least, I know before in the past, we've always told you we would try to keep you apprised. We had some vehicle shuffling in these last couple of months. We got hit pretty hard with cars breaking down, and so we got rid of 6 and traded those in for another jail transport vehicle, which we desperately needed. So we got rid of the older Chevy Tahoe that was extremely high gas guzzler and very old and high mild, and we ended up replacing that with a more fuel efficient 4-cylinder Chevy Equinox, and it's new, relatively new. It had like 8,000 miles on it, so got a really good deal on that. But these are a list of all of our current vehicles in the fleet and the year, and then how they were purchased or what account they were purchased out of. So I just give you that as just a FYI update.
We appreciate that, we have a word list. We used to not,
Before that,
in the past, sometimes it was a challenge.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many were,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around it.
Insurance and-
and by also doing that, I also was able to catch that we were 2 vehicles over on our insurance, so I was able to get those removed off of there too. They had 2 vehicles that we didn't actually have in inventory anymore, so we got that taken care of by doing that.
Well, that's always appreciated.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So, other than that, that is all I have, unless you guys have anything for me.
Appreciate the homework on this system, because I think that's huge to have that level of accountability.
I agree, because when it comes to, a tort claim or something like that, it'll save itself.
Oh,
We'll,
yes.
end up saving in the long run for something like that, so. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks.
Good work. Thank you.
Any other items to come before the council this evening? Commissioner Brenner, do you have anything you want to talk to us about this evening?
So they had requested some more information, which was pretty much the same information we provided them last August, but we updated the value of the land, looking at what average per acre is going on in Jefferson County, so it went up a little bit there. But I haven't heard anything back from them on anything like that, but it seems to be that it's still the kind of May timeframe when they will reach spending the amount of Ready 1 money that they need to before they can turn loose the Ready 2. And so we're putting together a request for qualification for an owner-operator or an operator for the campground, and then also start for the construction. So we'll get that request for proposal. So,
Great. I'm definitely looking forward to that project getting started and ultimately completed. Thank you.
I don't know if you saw on the BZA, one of you know on the BZA, someone else was trying to move the campground up 421, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, they said they weren't even aware. They were like, well, I didn't even know. They read like they weren't even aware of the Kruger Lake project.
In the BZA or?
No,
guy
the owner that wanted the one outside of that.
He knew, he called me.
Okay.
I talked to him and said, oh, really, you're looking to put a campground there? Did you know that we're putting? When he first applied to me, he didn't. So
I was like, yes, there is one.
Anything else come before the council this evening? There are no additional matters. Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, yes.
Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.